Hello fellow priests, this is Duke from US Venture Co. back at you with another priest video. Today I'm going to be talking about healing rotations, even though there is no such thing as a actual healing rotation in PvP. There's no such thing as any rotation in PvP. Unless you're a Frost Mage, then it's pretty much just Ice Lance. But that's a side note. As far as healing rotations, I want to clear up some comments I made in my previous videos about not bombing flash heal because you'll go A lot of people misinterpreted, and that's my fault. I didn't make it very clear. So, first of all, it's instead of a rotation, it's more of a priority list for Disc Priest. You have a list of priorities and a list of tools at your disposal, and you need to figure out when the best time to use them is. There's a couple different things that determine this. How squishy your target is that you're healing is the main one. For instance, if you're healing a warrior that just shield walled, obviously they're not going to be taking much damage. Even if they're at like half health, they're not that big of a priority because they're not going to be taking damage. The incoming damage is not that high. So if there's other things you need to take care of, that's a perfect time to do it. Also, if you're healing a mage with absolutely no health and they're fire and they have no survivability, then obviously they're pretty high on your to heal list. Now, as far as priorities, that'll help you pick which target is your priority, whichever one needs the healing more. As far as healing priorities, if I had to put it in a list, Bubble is your number one, Prayer Mending, Penance, and Renew should always be on every one of your targets. In the background here, I've got just a video of a few BGs I did earlier and kind of show you how I went about healing those. As you can see right here, I'm bombing flash heals. You need to. Sometimes you have to spam heals to keep your target up. Your simple Prayer Mending, Renew, Bubble, Dispel business is not going to save everyone. So, obviously, you need to bomb heals when you need to. But if at all possible you can get by with just Prayer Mending, Renew, Bubble, Dispel, do it. I mean, it's going to save you a ton of mana in the long run, and it's just the way to go if you can get by with doing that. Now, in most cases, the way DPS is now, a lot of classes have a high damage output, and that's just not the case. That's why it's good to keep track of all your enemies' cooldowns. If they pop a Bloodlust, if they pop, Berserking, anything they have to increase their damage, lets you know, alright, I need to pick up heals and start being more on top of it, maybe using more flash heals instead of just instants. On the same note, your defensive cooldowns, whenever you like an evasion or a cloak, that way you'll know, alright, I don't need to worry about healing him that much. I can do more offensive dispels or defensive dispels. So, Dispel really falls into any in-between time you have between all of that. Number one priority between everything, though, what I put is dispelling your teammates. If you're in an arena and your partner gets sheeped, that needs to be your number one priority. Because if your partner is sheeped, then it's a 3v2 and they can't help you. There's nothing they can do. They might have a blind or a sheep or a counterspell that could save you, but if they're in a sheep, there's nothing they can do. So dispelling your teammates, I think, is your number one priority as a priest. Also, offensive dispels. Whoever the kill target is, dispel them. Right here, I'm dispelling that mage, getting his ice barrier off, getting all of his buffs off of him, so my team can kill him. That's huge on your priority list. That's as a disc priest. That's just kind of it goes along with that's what makes priests so deadly is their offensive dispels. It helps a big time. But yeah, as far as rotations go, using your fears, your pain suppressions, Bubble, just keeping track of all those and the damage cooldowns that have been used really helps you keep track of when to use all those things. I'm not saying just run around and just spam dispel everything. Well, actually, yeah, do that. But I'm not saying ignore heals to spam dispel. Healing is always and will always be your number one priority, no matter what. You can't heal if you're dead. Your partners can't kill anything if they're dead. There's always a lot going on, whether it's between mana burns, instants, watching your mana. But no matter what, remember this. If all else fails, do whatever you have to do to keep your partners and everyone around you alive. Now, obviously, you can't do that all the time, but whatever you have at your disposal, use to keep them alive. Number one priority, number one everything. Do that above all else if you can. As far as if you take a look at my Priest Rogue video I did a while back in Lich King, I did a few clips with a rogue. In one of the arenas, I kept him at half health almost the entire time, for a few reasons. It was the one where, if you go back and watch it, I believe it's a Resto Shaman in Prot Pally. There's simply, the Prot Pally wasn't putting out enough damage, and me knowing I've played enough games with that rogue, I know how squishy he is. I know when he's in trouble. I know when I need to stop what I'm doing to go heal him. That really helps when you do a lot of arenas with your partners. I mean, it really helps to get to know them and know how much they can take before it's like, all right, I need to stop what I'm doing, whether it's offensive heals or offensive dispels or helping DPS. It's knowing when to stop what you're doing to go back to healing is huge. And that also comes into knowing what cooldowns you have. Say your pain suppression's on cooldown and you were saving it, or so you thought that you'd get the pain suppression off on them and, save them that way. But you need to manage your cooldowns. You need to manage what heals you have, who's taking damage, and it really is a big thing to know. It's your job as a healer to know what's going on in the fight. So if that's something that's tough for you to do right now, do more BGs, do more arenas, and do your best to focus on. Make this your priority. Just watch everything that's happening. Watch, what their cooldowns they pop. Make sure you call out what cooldowns your team pops. That's gonna really change the way you play and change the style of how you're playing. I mean, you can go from being super offensive to super defensive. It changes everything. Because PvP is just a big chess match between cooldowns. And knowing when to use the right thing is a big thing. So, always use your bubbles. Always try and keep your prayer mending on cooldown. Keep renew on as many targets as you can. Penance. Always use penance when you need it. Do not be afraid to flash heal. But, that being said, if you can get away with just instance, do it. That's pretty much all I got for you today. Hopefully I'll be having a few more clips for you. Hopefully some arenas coming up. My next video is going to be kind of on setting up your raid frames to be effective. Also a few miscellaneous arena tips. If there's anything you guys want to see, let me know. I'll be glad to get it recorded for you. If you haven't already checked it out, me and Rashiwi made a PV Pro video about the upcoming patch and a few PvP changes, so check it out. I am out like a trout, and I will catch you guys next time.